Part 8, Police Reform Playlist, Internal Affairs, and Police Misconduct. So, the most important thing to me in police reform is that police officers should not be allowed to investigate their own crimes and find themselves innocent. This is the most important thing to me. My logic is that if you know your best friend down the street is going to investigate your crime, you're more likely to commit that crime. But if you know that you're investigated by an independent agency that doesn't have favoritism towards you, you're less likely to pull the trigger. When there is an officer-involved shooting, typically what happens is they call in another agency to investigate that crime. And they call themselves the crisis intervention team or the investigative team or whatever. And typically what that team consists of is another police department. So if you're killed in Salt Lake City, West Valley Police Department investigates you. If you're killed in Cottonwood Heights, Salt Lake City will investigate you. This is a conflict of interest to have police investigating each other for their own crimes. But this is typically what happens in every officer-involved shooting and every officer-involved death. This is why we push for independent civilian review boards that have the power to investigate and bring charges against police. How many independent civilian review boards in the country have the power to investigate and bring charges against police? There are only 2 independent civilian review boards in this nation with power. 2. How do I know? I was bored one day. I looked up every civilian review board in this country and I made a spreadsheet of what powers that they had. Did they have subpoena powers? Did they have the power to investigate a police officer? Did they have the power to terminate a police officer? And what I found was 99% of civilian review boards in this country have 0 power. I'm going to repeat that. 99% of civilian review boards in this country have 0 powers. They cannot terminate a police officer. They cannot bring charges against a police officer. They can't put a police officer on suspension. The majority of them do not even have subpoena powers.